Have you ever noticed how workplace dynamics are rarely just about work? Sometimes they reveal something deeper: power, respect, and personal boundaries. Today, we're breaking down a story that perfectly illustrates the psychology of workplace relationships and why respect is not optional, even in high pressure environments. When Katya got a job at a large investment company, it felt like she had finally made it. Modern glass offices, fast paced meetings, people constantly saying, "Let's circle back." Everything looked like success. She earned the job on her own. No connections, just determination and luck. Her position? Executive assistant to the CEO. At first, her boss seemed charismatic, confident, successful. But very quickly, reality set in. Her boss, Anton, turned out to be the kind of leader many people quietly fear: demanding, unpredictable, and often disrespectful. He didn't just manage, he dominated. He would call her girl instead of her name, criticize her appearance, mock small mistakes, publicly humiliate her over trivial things. And here's the key psychological point: people in power sometimes confuse authority with superiority. Anton didn't see Katya as a professional. He saw her as someone below him. At first, Katya tolerated everything. Why? Because of a very common belief: if I endure this, I'll grow. This is a dangerous mindset many people fall into, equating terpenie, endurance, with progress. But in reality, constant humiliation doesn't build you. It erodes your self-worth. Then came the turning point. One morning, important investors arrived. Serious people. The kind that don't tolerate nonsense. Anton, as usual, was rude and dismissive toward Katya, not realizing they could hear everything. And then something unexpected happened. One of the investors recognized her. She turned out to be the niece of a key senior partner, someone whose reputation and influence directly impacted the company. Suddenly, the power dynamic shifted. And here's the second psychological insight: respect based on status is not real respect. Anton immediately changed his tone, became polite, careful. But it was too late. The investors had already seen how he treated people below him. And they made it clear: if he couldn't respect his employees, they would reconsider their involvement in the company. Then came the most important moment. They asked Katya directly, "Are you okay with how you're treated here?" She hesitated, like many people would, because speaking up feels risky. But then she said, "No." That single word changed everything. Not because of her connections, but because she finally set a boundary. Anton apologized, awkwardly, uncomfortably, but sincerely enough to matter. And over time, things began to change. Not perfectly, but noticeably. Because now he understood something crucial: fear works only until someone stronger is watching. Katya stayed, for a while, but she stayed on her terms. And eventually she moved forward in her career, into a role where she was respected, not controlled. So what's the lesson here? Your big opportunity is not worth losing your dignity. Respect is not a bonus, it's the baseline. And sometimes, growth doesn't come from terpet, but from saying one simple word: no.